Hello everyone, this is a back again for another deck review. Today we're looking at one of the best funded decks on Kickstarter. The new Name of the Wind decks, both the standard and alternate versions of the Sellers and Chandrian decks by the Name of the Wind author, Patrick Rothfuss. Alright, so this is the newest Name of the Wind decks, actually put out by the author and creator of Name of the Wind, Patrick Rothfuss, through an account known as Eloden Enterprises, and designed by Echo Chernik, which is actually a pretty cool name. The previous variation of the Name of the Wind decks was put out by Albino Dragon, and there was a few decks in that as well. This one, however, and that one had a lot of funding, I think around $500,000 or maybe less than that. It was quite a bit. One of the best funded decks on Kickstarter. This one is the best funded deck on Kickstarter to my knowledge. Over $630,000. That is absolutely ridiculous. And up until the previous project by Albino Dragon a few years ago, I had never heard of Name of the Wind. I don't think there's ever been a Name of the Wind movie, and I don't read a whole lot of books, unfortunately. So yeah, my knowledge of it is pretty limited. There are 4 different decks here. There are 2 standard decks, which feature the same artwork on the faces, and 2 alternate decks, which feature different artwork on the faces, or at least as far as the court cards and jokers are concerned. The jokers are different in every deck. These 2 feature the same court cards, and these 2 feature the same court cards. And the idea is to make them, they have the same back designs, so that you can mix and match the court cards, which is a pretty interesting and unique idea. The front of the boxes say, I guess, NOTW, Name of the Wind, and they're reversible. They also have UV embossed ink on them, and you'll see if you look closely, if you can tell, I hope you can, that they're actually different from one tuck case to the other. So they're very similar looking, and it's a little bit difficult to tell them apart. The one with the maple leaves is the alternate deck, and this one is the standard. And they got the same embossing on these 2 tuck cases, which again, hopefully you can see. And that continues all around the entire deck, that UV ink. It says Name of the Wind on one side in foil, gold foil on the red, blue foil on the black. Same on the other side. Top is just the UV ink. At the bottom, it actually says that it's printed by Expert Playing Cards in Taiwan. They never specified the actual stock and finish of the cards, unfortunately. And in the back, you get this foil symbol logo with some, made out of leaves, no sealed. This one has a similar, but different symbol with maple leaves in it. And then onto the flap, it's just the same spot UV ink, and even on these flaps, nothing on the inside. And then we get to the cards. Like I said, these 2 decks have the same faces aside from the jokers. And one other minor difference that I'll point out when we get to it. So this one, this is the back design. It is the loot back, because, well, it has a loot on it. Red borders and kind of a gold color scheme. Very nice. This one has the same back design. You'll see. This Joker, I'm going to go over every figure here. This Joker is a Benfi. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this one is Ori. And I'm not familiar with the characters, unfortunately. The aces, they're the same in all the decks with some minor differences. The ace of spades is the Scrael, which is some kind of spider-like creature. Spider-like creature. I apologize. Spider-like, not spider-leak. What the heck is a spider-leak? The ace of hearts is Waystones. The ace of clubs is a book. And the ace of diamonds is pipes. I'll put those aside. The court cards, this handsome fellow here is Coty, or Coat. Don't know how you pronounce it exactly. I'm just going to take this in my hand. This one is Denna. And this guy, which has kind of a smoky look to him, smoky aura, is the Human Bast. This fellow is Arliden. Here we have Lorian. And then we got Kavof, or Kavof. Kavofi, the young Kavofi kid, what he is. This is Kilvin. Fela, or Fila. Ambrose. Diok, or Diots, however you pronounce it again. Not sure. Ori. And lastly, Simon, or Simon. Simon. I don't know. Pretty nice artwork. I definitely prefer the artwork on these ones as opposed to the previous ones that were done by Saint Tyree for Albino Dragon. Those ones, I mean, it was good artwork, but they lacked color. They were just like a sketch, which is fine. But I kind of prefer these, and I also prefer the back design on these. The number cards, fairly straightforward, with custom pips and indexes, and a border detail to them. And that is that. This one, you get some different Jokers. This scary looking dude, and they say Joker on the bottom. Playing with Fire is Cinder. That's Cinder. And this dark, scary looking figure is Heliax. The Ace of Spades, the aces are all the same, as you'll see. The only difference to the cards is these sevens, which have a blue color to them, a blue tinge, if you will. Which is unique and interesting, but it also kind of makes them stand out from the rest of the cards, which are just the same red and black color scheme. And the court cards you'll see are the same as well. We'll put that aside. Let's look at the alternate decks. And like I said, I mentioned again, we have the red one is the Sellers deck, and the black one is the Chandrian deck for both variations. I should also mention the Chandrian decks. These ones here, which I didn't show you the back design either, I apologize, are Kickstarter exclusive, so finding them outside Kickstarter is going to be a little bit more difficult. There's the back design on this one, which is the Dracus back. It's an interesting bluish color, almost a purple color on black, with some kind of mythical type beast creature. It's pretty nice. It's an interesting color, the black border. So yes, and apparently these decks feature or are supposed to feature metallic inks. I don't really see that, unfortunately. But let's get to these ones. These ones have different faces. Also, the cards have a yellowy color to the face as opposed to white. So this Joker in this deck, the alternate Sellers deck, is Bast. That's Bast. And this one, I apologize, I have to look at my notes, is the Chronicler. He's chronicling something, obviously. The aces, you'll see, are the same, except that they've changed it so that the background isn't black and or red, but it's the same type of artwork. Also, the black cards have kind of a leafy pattern in the background. The hearts and diamonds, the red cards, have a floral pattern in the background, which is pretty nice. Then we get to the court cards on these ones. This guy is Master Lauren. This is Mola. Master Elodin, or Elodin. Stanchion. Devi. Willem. And this guy is Kote, just like the brooding Kote, apparently, just like we saw in the previous deck. This is Ori. Bost, Fae Bost, apparently. Whatever that means. Scarpy. Young Dena, sorry. Kavafi, the Tarbean version, apparently. I did a number of cards. You get the pips on the black and red backgrounds. Again, fairly similar, aside from the background details. And you'll see with the Chandrian alternate, it's the same artwork as this one, as far as the court cards and everything. The Jokers are different. You get this guy. I'm not actually familiar. I'm not sure which one is which, but there's Telu, I think that's how I pronounce it, and Incanis. I'm not sure which is which, unfortunately. Playing with fire. Same aces, as you can see. And again, the only difference in this one is the sevens have a bluish color with a blue kind of watery background, which is pretty interesting. Makes them stand out. But it could be a little bit weird to play games with that type of a background. Anyway, they're printed by Expert Playing Cards. On, again, I'm not sure what stock and finish. They didn't specify. You had to actually look in the frequently asked questions section to find out who actually produced the deck, because they didn't actually advertise that in the project. But it is an embossed linen finish and a bicycle type stock. So it handles pretty good. Overall, I would give these a 10 out of 10. Very nice artwork, very interesting done. I would have preferred a little bit more distinction in the top case to help identify one from the other. Because, I mean, the UV ink is great, but from a distance, you can't tell the difference. The only real distinction is the logo, the symbol on the backs. But overall, pretty nice decks. I like that you can mix and match the court cards. Nice colors on the back designs as well. Yeah, I like it. I think they're better than the previous ones by Albino Dragon. That is that. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And we'll see you next time. More. Thanks for watching.